Okay. I'm trying to figure out how do I come at this Ben Simmons thing because I want to do I come at this from someone because I don't really I don't know if like I don't suffer from mental illness. Obviously, I've been depressed, but I feel like everybody gets depressed. I don't. It's like I feel like, and everybody has gone through what we call a mental block. I feel like everybody has gone through a mental block in their life where you know your work is not as good as it can be, and you're just trying to figure out why. Some people they get over it real quickly. Some people it takes them forever. So, and I don't know if I want to come this as if I was a GM, but I'm just going to come at this the way that I'm going to come at this. So if it comes out wrong, you can tell me. If you agree, just let me know. But for someone I've said this about Kwame Brown, and um I'm not putting Ben Simmons in the same lane as Kwame Brown, but I do feel like, and this is what everybody tells me about mental illness. I can't do nothing about it. That person has to get through it himself. Which usually because they're saying that Ben Simmons has some type of mental block that triggered his back, and I'm watching Skip and Shannon, and Skip and Shannon, they'll tell you like when the mind goes, everything else goes. It's like you could be the best athlete in the world, but if you don't have that mental capacity that you're great, you're not going to be great. And I've seen that in people myself where I tell people like, especially like artists, because I feel like artists go through this when you tell them their work is great, and they go, "Nah, my shit is shit, bruh. My shit is shit," and it's just like it's the most beautiful art you probably ever seen, or at least it's just like, "Yo, your shit is like really fucking good," and they're gonna, "Man, my shit trash, dog. My shit is like really trash." I've been around those people. Now you tell them. Now the thing is, as an artist, you kind of strive for perfection. So you're going to see. So I had to learn this, and even when I was doing video edit, because it's like you want to be perfect, but sometimes it's going to be as good as it's going to be, and you probably see the error, but no one else sees the error. So it's just like I know a lot of people that it's just like everybody, oh, this looks real good. This looks real good. And for some reason, you're focused on some one little speck that might be out of place that you know is out of place, but nobody else knows is out of place. And they're like, God, I hope no one sees that little speck that's out of place. It's like, what is that? And then it's probably ruin your whole page. Like everything else is beautiful, but it might be just like one little speck, like a pixel. I've seen that in artists. So I feel like that's what Ben Simmons is going through. So my thing is, what do you want him to do as a player, as someone with that plays with Ben Simmons? What do you want them to do? Because everybody is going through their own shit. This is what I hate to say this because I honestly like we should be taking care of people. There's a village, but do you give them help? Because it was like if I'm going through my shit, sometimes I'm not gonna be focused on another man's shit. Like I feel like if Gilbert Arenas wasn't focused on his shit, and he'll say it, he was focused on, I'm trying to be the man. I'm trying to get to where I'm at. And you think he would have like, hey, Kwame, we could be this dynamic duo. You need somebody to hold you down. If Kwame Brown has someone to hold him, do I think Jordan ruined that man? No, but I don't think in my opinion, I don't think Jordan ruined that man because he had that same philosophy. It's just that his philosophy didn't work for Kwame because Jordan's shit is just like if I'm going to push you and I'm going to push you till you have to fight back. Kwame didn't. I don't know if Kwame didn't fight back or not, and I'm not going to say he cried, but he obviously didn't fight back, and they kind of looked at him as weak. you don't want Jordan to look at you as weak. So Jordan pushed everybody like that. And it got him results. It got him 6 rings. So that type of toughness, it works for some people, don't work for everybody. So I don't see a lot of people trying to coddle Ben Simmons like you're a grown ass man. Especially, and I understand like we don't, as far as men and mental health, we're like, hey yo, you alright, you tough, you just and I agree with that. Sometimes we kind of look at it as a, hey man, yo, shake that shit off. You alright, you tough, you get through it. And sometimes that's really the only answer. So, hey, look man, you tough, you get through it. I've seen you go through worse shit. And sometimes, look, I know a lot of people is like, oh, there's no safe space, but sometimes it's just like a lot of things that men do. And this is where a lot. Oh, it seems like we don't have the space. It's not that we don't have the space, but a lot of our answers is really just you got to push through that shit. You got to push through that shit. I hate to be an anime nerd, but it made me think of the Cell saga when Gohan, where he was trying to make Gohan reach this level because Gohan told him, "Look, every time I get pissed off." Oh, every time I get angry, I got this deep power that's surging inside me when people hurt my friends. And like Gohan was trying to tell him, man, just go away. Because if I get angry, all hell's gonna break loose. And Cell's like, well, let's just get you angry then. And Cell started beating up everybody. He had Cell Juniors beating up everybody. And Gohan was just sitting there. And Cell had to, honestly, Cell looked at him and was like, and be mindful, I know Gohan was like 12. They called him Teen Gohan, but I know Gohan was a teenager and shit. But really, Cell, he was like 11, really, if you really want to get to it. But Cell looked at him and was like, my nigga, you a bitch. Cell was like, my nigga, you a little bitch. You know that? You could save the whole world. And everybody, and you want to be like, oh, pacifist, stop it. Where the only way you want to have to do this is to whip my ass. And yet you want to sit here and be a little bitch. Everybody here is weak as fuck, and they out here fighting. And you over here with the, probably the strongest of them all, over here trying to be passive and be a little bitch. Nah, nigga, you a little bitch. It wasn't until Android 6 said, hey, man, yo, you gotta let it go. Sometimes you gotta fight these battles. There are things in life where you just can't talk your way out of it. Sometimes you gotta fight. Then when 16 died, he turned to Super Saiyan 2 and the rest is history. Y'all know the story. I feel like Ben Simmons right now is that Gohan, that version of Gohan. Where you're a great player, and everybody is around you fighting. Like the Nets, you think they want to go out as a sweep? No, they fucking Kevin Durant motherfucking dropping 39 points. His efficiency rating was low, but that nigga was literally trying to like pull the team together. I'm not trying to. Kevin Durant was like, I'm not trying to go out like that. I'm trying to pull this team as Kevin Durant does. He was like, I'm gonna pull this team together. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm the best scorer in the league. I'm going to pull this out. And sometimes it's not enough. That Boston team hounded him. That Boston team, it was a bunch of Cell Juniors beat, and Ben Simmons, he could have been that Gohan. Turn to Super Saiyan 2 and said, you know what? This team needs me. They need my facilitator. They need my driver. They need even though I can't shoot, but it could help. Like Gohan. Ben Simmons could have been that, but he wasn't. He sat there. And, and look, I come from that era of Jordan. This is why I like niggas like Ari Spears or Michael Rappaport or any other old heads, they came from that era where you had to be tough. You don't really gotta be tough in this era. I'm not even talking about basketball in life because, a lot of people say, oh, we need to talk about mental illness and all that other stuff where back then it was like, nah, nigga, you just gotta man up, and that's why a lot of old heads' advice is man the fuck up and get your shit together. It's simple yet effective. The only thing is that what I say the old heads done fucked up is, and I say this about a lot of things. Now, half of the shit is not them. Not their fault. Half of the shit is white supremacy. And I'm not even trying to bring white supremacy in it. But you got to put this because of, every time when a black person builds something, you take it away. Or you take it, or you use it as yourself and then you claim it on your own. It's like, it's a history in that. It's a whole fucking history of that. Anytime when black people try to do for themselves, the white man tears it down. Y'all can, all the people who, I can hear a lot of people groan their hands on, but it's in the fucking history. But even with that said, Ben Simmons gotta be, to me, Ben Simmons gotta be the one to get himself out of that slump. I've had my slumps. I've had times where I didn't want to do nothing. Hell, it was one time in the Navy, and I swear to God, and I have never talked about this to the people. Like, I was carpooling with a couple people, and I didn't want to go to work that day. When I tell you, I was in my bed, and I don't know why I was that depressed. I did not want to go to work that day. And the Navy, and most people know, the Navy is not one of the places where you can call sick and you can just, okay, come tomorrow. No, you got to be at work. You got to be accountable. You got to be accountable and all that. And I was carpooling with people, and they was knocking at the door. And I was knocking at the door. And I was like, I don't want to go to work today. Maybe, and I was like, maybe if I just sit here, they'll just go away. And, I'll probably... I was literally at that point. But they kept knocking. And the back of my head, I went, all right, obviously, they're not going away. And if I make them late, I'm going to feel real bad. And I'm not going to make them late because I was fucked up in the head. And I don't want to go to work. These niggas got, bills to pay. They got shit to do too. So I got my ass up, I got dressed, and I went to work. We got to work on time. I never told them, I didn't feel like going to work. I just got up, took my happy ass to washed my face, brushed my teeth, got dressed, and went to work. Now, it's funny because this girl I knew, I can't remember her real name, for some reason, which is sad because I hung out with her all the time at one point. But her nickname was Sunshine. If she ever listen, she knows who I'm talking about. But I nicknamed her Sunshine because she had this. To me, she had a smile that could brighten up a day, and I was like, hey, she was pretty. She was BBW too, but she was pretty. It was just you would get with her, and I always thought she was attractive. But and other than that, she went through this depressive state where she didn't show up at all. She just not showed up for almost 30 days. And you go 30 days, you consider AWOL. One day I seen her and she just popped up and she just back. But her hair was like a wreck or some shit like that. And then just now she went to Captain Smash and all that stuff. And I don't know if she lost her place or not. But she did go to Captain Smash. She had to do her days. But me and her, we sat down. She was like, I'm glad to see you. I wish I had her number because I'd have hit her up. But it was just one of those days where she told me, and I asked her, I said, I gotta ask you. And me and her was real cool. And so she told me, she was just like, I was depressed. I did not want to go nowhere. I thought, to me, it was just, because people thought she went back home because she was from Texas. People thought she went back home. People thought she was out of kidnapped. She was gone. I was like, damn, where's Sunshine at? I ain't seen Sunshine this whole time. She was, we had this, if anybody understands the Navy, y'all been in Norfolk, we had this PPVs. And she was just in her PPV. Just she didn't leave her PPV at all. So, in my opinion, now I understand rules are rules, and sometimes rules are rules. You got to like let people. Um, so she had the rule, but in my opinion, if I was the captain, and I understand like captain, you got to be charged of 4,000 fucking people. I wouldn't have put in a mask. In my opinion, like the law is the law. He has to do what he has to do. I'm not mad at the captain for doing that. It's like you do what you gotta do. But if I was the captain, I wouldn't have put in a mask. I was like, you need therapy. You need to you need to find out what made you go that way. And maybe it's because it was the military. Because some people, like, say they can't find jobs. They don't want to just wallow around. They don't want to do nothing, so they join the military as a last resort. A lot of people in the military is a last resort. I know it was for me, but I still think it was the best decisions I ever made. But a lot of people, some people is just like, you could tell they just joined because they couldn't find nothing else to do. And a lot of people had that attitude. It's just like, I didn't want to be there. Now, granted, she was like, the job she had before, she was making like 2 or 3 times that. So when she saw a paycheck, she said, I cried. And I understand that. I understand that feeling. Now, me, it was different because that was the most money I seen because I was working part-time. I came in at 19. 20, actually. And I fucking, I was working at a Pizza Bowlies. So this is the most money I've ever seen. It was like, I was getting, this is it. So to me, the military was to step up. I was like, okay, I'm making money now. Doing what I got to do. But yeah, she was just depressed. And I feel like it was like, damn, I kind of wish I had your number. It was like, I don't know why I didn't have her number because I talked to her all the time, probably because I had a girl. Yeah, I was with my ex. That's probably why I ended. And like, but me and my ex also broke up. So I don't know. We already was breaking up. It was one of those things. It was just on and off. Actually, oh yeah, we was together because oh no, we got back together because funny story. Side note, because she sat there and she didn't know I was dating the person my ex who was on the boat, and she was sitting right across from me, and she said, the girl was like, you don't need no girl. It's like, you like everybody's friend and all that stuff. At the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God. And my girl was sitting next to her. And I'm like, I had this look like, fuck. I'm stuck and all that other stuff. And it's just like, I had to sit there. But, on that, Ben Simmons, back to Ben Simmons. Because I'm giving out all these examples. It's just, I understand people go through a depressive state and all that stuff. To me, it was like, if I do feel like, now I'm not blaming myself. I do feel like if I had her number, because she was like, after a while, it's just like, I just stayed there. I feel like if I'd have talked to her, maybe she probably, I don't know if she'd have got written up, obviously, but I don't think she would have went to mass. Maybe not. I don't know. The Navy's real ain't know about shit. That's why I did my best to stay out of fucking trouble. But Ben Simmons needs someone to talk to. I don't know who he has in his corner because I'm not trying to be super old head because I could go super old head and it's just like, bro, you just a waste. I don't want to be like that. I really don't want to be like that. I don't want to go old head. But as a GM, I do have to look at this as a GM. If you're going to be like this, then, especially with the Brooklyn Nets, if you're going to be like this, I don't know if your heart is fully into basketball like that. I'm paying you this much money to play basketball and you don't play. I don't want to give you, and as a GM, and I said this, I don't want to give him his money. Why would I give you money you don't play? And this is the other side, and this is the other side right there. Why would I give you money you don't play? And a lot of people is just like, oh, you hard on, because they got on Stephen A. Smith. No, this is not even about a black or white thing or black athletes. Why would I give you money if you didn't play? Not once. You didn't dribble a basketball. And I'm supposed to give you $20 million while Kevin Durant motherfucking played his fucking heart out? And Kyrie played half the fucking seasons. I wouldn't want to give him his money because he was obligated and the whole vaccination thing and all that other stuff. And even him just fucking like, I don't want to play because I don't want to feel like it. No, and Stephen A is right. They're going to pull this up in a collective bargaining agreement. Why am I paying you this money if you don't play? This is one of the times where I'm with the GMs. And a lot of people feel like he should get his money. I'm like, okay, imagine you pay somebody to do a fucking job and they don't do it. And they're looking at you as like, the job never gets done. And you look at them, it's like, what are you doing? The job never got done and all that stuff. And they go, yes, it is. The job is done. It's finished. And nothing is done. Nothing changes. Everything is the same. Or it's not better than it was before. And they like, you owe me money now. You gonna look at them, it's like, the fuck I don't. You didn't do shit. What did you do? You're not gonna give them niggas your money. You didn't do nothing. It's like, if you fucking repair a pipe, if your job is to repair a pipe, and a motherfucker just sit there on his ass for 3 hours, does nothing, and look at you as I charge by the hour. You didn't do nothing. You just sat on your ass. And then you're like, I'm on a union break. So I'm not paying for 6 hours something you could have done in a fucking hour. I'm not doing that. Who does that? And to me, that's what Ben Simmons is like, oh, you trying to put his material. He should, and I'm going to be real with you. He shouldn't get not a penny. Not 1 red cent. I wouldn't pay him no money. You think, and I know them GMs, I know some of they're billionaires, they can do it. That's not the point. That's not real. And a lot of people, oh, they're billionaires, they be able to spend it. They're not going to miss $20 million. First of all, yes, you are. Yes, you are. A lot of people feel like just because a rich nigga got money, like they spend shit, it's like, oh, it's like, no. It's like, what am I spending this money for? That's why people invest. It's like, investments, I put my money in and I expect something positive to come out of it. Some investments go bad, but that's the risk you have to take. But at the same time, it's just like, I'm not putting my money in a burning building knowing that it's going bad. I'm not putting my money in an investment knowing that this investment is going to last. It's like, no, that's dumb. That's what I feel like them getting fucking Ben Simmons is. The nigga didn't play. Not only that, we got swept out the first round. And I'm supposed to pay him the money. I will pay everybody else his side. I would take that $20 million and I would give it to every other motherfucker that played beside him. And be like, hey, I wouldn't be like, fuck you, but it's more or less like, you didn't play. So I'm taking your money and I'm giving it to the people that played. You know why? Because they played. You was the liability. Say what you want, Ben Simmons was the liability on that team. And I'm not going to pay somebody who I think was a fucking liability to the team. It's stupid. Use your common sense, in the words of R. Kelly. So overall, I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna take this rants or discussion, but I'm still on the fact that Ben Simmons shouldn't get 1 red cent, and I hope he doesn't. Not because he didn't play. This is not a black or white thing. It's more or less of what you put out there. It's like, was it worth picking him up? It obviously wasn't, and he did nothing. I'm not paying somebody who did nothing. Why would I pay you $20 million for doing nothing? And I guess that's where my mind is at. So I don't know how everybody else feel. It's just like, I don't care about It's one point where you can't just use mental illness as a fucking crutch. because you got to put yourself out there. And if like a lot of y'all say that's something that he has to get through, and something you just got to sit there and let them figure it out. Okay, then let them figure it out. But I'm not paying them. I'm not giving him no money for it because that was his problem. Let him figure it out. Let me know what y'all think. Tune in. My name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.